This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for December 26, 2022, police increasing vigilance to counter robbery syndicates. With an increase in incidents of robberies during this season, the police say they are increasing their vigilance. Head of the Corporate Communications Unit of the Jamaica Constabulary Force Senior Superintendent Stephanie Lindsay says intelligence supported by operation teams is being used to counter the plans of the thieves. SSP Lindsay says teams have been sent out to bolster the operation activities of divisional commanders. She is encouraging business and homeowners to remain vigilant and to take all necessary steps to safeguard their lives and their property.
We know some traditional areas, but we are also seeing some emerging locations where thieves who are operating in syndicates tend to target those places that are heavy users of cash. So the supermarket, the wholesale, the gambling houses, those are some of the locations where we see the persons targeting for robbery. So we have some special teams that are out there dealing specifically with robbery. So we have stepped up our strategies as to how we treat with them. We have dispatched persons from our specialized operations team to various locations across the country to support the local commanders to prevent these instances, and in cases that we're not able to prevent, then we have sufficient resources on the ground to quickly apprehend the persons.
Lasco Distributors accepts a court's decision on long-fought Pfizer battle. Lasco Distributors Limited has waved the white flag on its long-running battle with American multinational pharmaceutical and biotechnology corporation Pfizer Limited, saying it would accept the court's November decision and end its appeals. Lasco Distributors Limited had in February 2020 filed an appeal with the court, arguing that the amount awarded to the company 3 years prior for losses suffered from an injunction obtained by the American company, barring the distribution company from selling Norvax for 7 years, was low in comparison to other awards in cases of similar nature. In November, the appeal was dismissed. Lasco Distributors, which alongside pharmaceutical company Midday Jamaica was impacted by the injunction, had been awarded $273.3 million for losses and the disposal of the stock, inclusive of interest, by the Supreme Court in 2017. Lasco had initially sought US $490 million, which would have translated into billions of dollars in Jamaican currency, as compensation. Instead, it was awarded less than $300 million. The appeal of the award came up for hearing in February 2021, but the court had reserved its judgment. The decision was eventually handed down on November 11 of this year, rejecting the appeal. Subsequently, after about a month of deliberations, Lasco said in a market filing that it had accepted its lawyer's advice to end its fight over compensation. It will also pay the legal fees incurred by Pfizer. Lasco's attorneys will agree the cost with Pfizer's attorney, the notice said. The appeal court in its decision said neither Lasco Distributors nor Midimpex had shown in any meaningful way how Justice Vivian Harris had erred in her first decision on the case. The losses claimed were not substantiated by the required evidence. Accordingly, Lasco's grounds and Midimpex's grounds are without merit, the court ruled. The appellant failed to convince the court of the value of the opportunity or chance lost for market share as a consequence of the injunction, it said. Lasco's concession brings to an end a 2-decade-long battle between the companies after Pfizer claimed that Lasco Distributors and Midimpex were infringing on its patent. Pfizer had contended that the Jamaican firms violated its patent by selling generic versions of Norvax, which is used to treat high blood pressure in the early 2000s. The injunction granted to Pfizer in 2005 barred the companies from distributing the drug up until 2012, when Lasco Distributors and Midimpex challenged the matter in court and won. At the time, Lasco Distributors had asked the court to award it US $490 million as the full payout for the long-running case, but Pfizer had countered saying Lasco distributors should be paid no more than $518,000 and Medimpex US $68,000. Medimpex had demanded US $11.5 million but was only awarded $5.3 million in Jamaican currency by the court for stock that it had to destroy as a result of the injunction. Health scheme for entertainers. During singer Frankie Paul's funeral service in 2017, Minister of Entertainment and Culture Olivia Babsy-Grange appealed to the entertainment fraternity to put things in place for their departure. Let us get our act together. I don't want to come to another funeral and hear stories that the individual has nothing in place for their death. Death is inevitable. Plan for it. It is unfair for your family and me. Organize yourselves and don't leave the pressure on us when you go. You have to have a plan when you're earning. The entertainment business is seasonal, but try getting into an insurance scheme. What if I'm not here? She said. Grange appears to be playing her part as members of the entertainment and the cultural community will soon be beneficiaries of a government health insurance scheme. The announcement was made by Grange at Rebel Salute's media launch at a Rock Hotel downtown Kingston on December 21. The two-day festival is slated for January 20 and 21 at Grizzly's Plantation Cove in St. Anne. Actuarial consulting firm Eckler Limited has been engaged to assist in the tender process. According to Grange, the scheme will provide critical assistance to persons who have made significant contributions to the development of brand Jamaica. Wherever you go in the world, they speak about our music, and I felt it was important that as a part of our Jamaica 60 legacy, we ensure that we introduce insurance coverage for our artists, our writers, our cultural practitioners, to ensure that they benefit from what they have provided to this country, she said. Grange noted that some veterans of the cultural and entertainment fraternities who have reached an advanced age need this kind of assistance. Every day we lose one of our veterans. If they are very ill or they pass, there is always an issue about dealing with the funeral. There is always an issue about dealing with the health insurance or health coverage, and I thought it was about time, she said, adding that the scheme is a way of giving back to a community whose talents in promoting Jamaican culture internationally is inestimable. Promoted by Organic Heart Productions, Rebel Salute was first held in 1994 by DJ Tony Rebel. This year's lineup of performers includes Big Mountain, Guyanan artist Stoneboy, Third World, Kabaka Pyramid, Capleton, TOK, and I Wayne. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.